Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today we've got a game between grun59 and is that MUERTE? Yeah, I'm terrible with names, and not gonna apologize. So we're playing on the map Twin Beaches. I have not seen a game on this map before, so I'm curious to see what this map has in store. It looks like there are some pretty big cutoff points right here, right, denying you from this very rich resource area over here. A little bit of a resource patch in the middle here, and of course on the top. Victory points have an interesting distribution with 2 on bottom, 1 on top. So it looks like we're going to have a significant amount of action right here in the middle and potentially along this bottom side. Now, taking a quick look at the surroundings, looks like there's some a little bit of building, a few buildings around. Looks like there's a decent amount of cover, so yeah. Let's see how this works out. Now, our US player has gone for a Jeep opening. Light vehicles, of course, are a little bit of a gamble, right? Risk reward, high skill ceiling. They are highly mobile, but extremely fragile. And as you can see, they get pushed away pretty easily. It's very easy to lose them. A change they made in this game is that light vehicles can self-heal. Ultralight vehicles, I should say, can heal themselves. And that's what we're seeing here. I really, really like that change in this new game. It allows those light vehicles to be less of a burden and keep you, stay in the fight longer. So, US player has opened with 2. In addition to that, Jeep has opened with 2 scout squads and then gone into 2 riflemen. Nothing unusual there. Feels like a lot of US players I spectate enjoy they like the 2 scout opening. Myself personally, I like going straight into rifleman squads, but maybe there's something I don't understand, like maybe manpower flows a little smoother, or you just get that little bit of extra map control. I'm not really sure, but 2 scouts seems to be the meta. German player, on the other hand, opened motorbike into Panzer Grenadier and has added on a total of 3 Panzer Grenadiers, so pretty standard from him. And this is exactly the build that I like. This is the build I use when I'm playing Africa Corps, and I'm going standard. So, looks like both players choosing to duke it out over these fuel points in the bottom side. I don't blame them. There's a lot of fuel to be had down here. This is also where both victory points are, so if you win this half of the map, you have more fuel and more victory points. So, makes sense that they're fighting over it. I do like that our US player is capturing territory on the top side for free, right? He's not facing any opposition from his opponent, and he actually doesn't need to go any further than that. I mean, he's already captured both of the ammunition points and the high-value fuel points, so you can see he has a 10 fuel per minute advantage over his opponent. Looks like that's about to change now that the German player has captured the bottom side, and yeah. Now, one last thing I want to say about that is he's only using a scout squad to do those captures on the top side, which is exactly what you want, right? He's not wasting, a high-value unit up there. It's just a scout squad picking up territory, and that's the right way to use those squads. Looks like our German player added on a flamethrower onto this pioneer squad, and that's going to push away these riflemen if that Jeep doesn't kill them first. Now, better not lose that pioneer squad on the retreat. I think it's going to make it. The Jeep might chase, but I don't think it's gonna die. Yeah. Out of there. Nice. And so, as I was talking about earlier, our American player is going for this cutoff. Looks like he's gonna get it, just barely. Nice. So, even though our German player controls those high-value fuel points on the right side of the map, he's not actually getting any resources from them because his opponent captured this point here. Did that rifleman just go down? I think a rifleman squad just died. Yeah, they did. It's a nice pickup by our German player. A bit unfortunate for our US player. He's not down or anything. He's not out bad, but that is an unfortunate loss. Losing the Jeep as well. Again, it's unfortunate, but it's not utterly devastating. This player has added on a quad mount AA half track. I absolutely love this unit. I think it's a really great addition in the early game. Makes it really hard for this infantry to survive. Now, of course, he's driven it right into the center of some Panzer Grenadier squads, rather. And that might be a dead Panzer Grenadier. That would be a good pickup for our German. He needs it. He got him. Nice. Flak Panzer moving in. Might pick up his half-track. Nice trade back. So overall, it looks like our US player came out slightly behind, but still anybody's game at this early stage. Alright, so let's take a moment to check out these battle groups while it's got a little bit of peace and quiet here for a minute. Our Africa Corps player has gone for the Battlefield Espionage battle group. I haven't seen a lot of this. I have not seen a ton of this battle group at high level. In fact, this is only my second game seeing it. I think that this battle group has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. But it doesn't get a lot of direct, you know, it doesn't get a big call-ins like a Tiger or, you know, any real special units. It's about stealth, it's about ambush, so we'll see what he's wanting to do here. So it looks like he's got the Sector Subterfuge Beacon, which basically lets him steal resources from an opponent's sector. I don't know how this thing works in practice, or if we'll even see him use it. I believe it's stealthed. Just reading here. I mean, I think it's a stealthed building, and what I don't know is if your opponent can tell that their resources are being stolen, because presumably they would just, you know, go destroy your building. So, but maybe if you're wasting their time with that, and if the building's cheap enough, sure. So, curious if we'll see that. Let me check how much it costs. 75 manpower. That's pretty cheap. So, I could see somebody using that. Put it down like a mine and let it siphon resources. So, we'll see. The next thing he's got is Plunder, which basically lets him destroy wrecks. Does it give you weapons? Yes, it does. So you can plunder enemy vehicles. Now, presumably, you could plunder this half-track here, and it would give him a weapon. So we'll see if he ends up doing that. Now, this vehicle I know is the Funk Panzerwagen. It gives you stealth, gives your units, stealth while moving is really big. Lets you do some call-ins like anti-tank mines and a Goliath tank, which is just a tank packed with explosives. What I love about the Funk Panzerwagen is it gives you, by the way, I'm probably butchering that. What I love about that vehicle is it gives you the combined arms buff. So for those of you that don't know, your infantry on the Africa Corps benefit from being around vehicles in a way that other armies don't. and they get that bonus from this Funk Panzerwagen, even though it can't attack. Now we saw our U.S. players added on the 75mm half-track, and he managed to pick up this Flak Panzer, so that's pretty big for him. I think that brings the game back to just about even in terms of losses. Both players down a couple, a vehicle. Both players down squad. So we are dead even right now. It's pretty impressive to me that our German players managed to keep this motorcycle alive. It is very, very hard to keep your ultralight vehicles alive. And he's got it all the way up to Vet 2, so that, what I love about this thing is at Veterancy 1, it basically automatically marks enemy infantry when it attacks them, and it makes it easier for your other units to hit it, so if you can keep that motorcycle alive, it can prove really, really helpful in fights. Now at rank 2, it gets that extra vision range, so that's going to be easier to keep alive now that it has the increased vision range. So, big fight happening over this cutoff point. Grenades going back and forth. Grenade on that heavy machine gun. They're probably going to get killed here, yeah. If I were the US player, I'd grab it and run. Looks like he's going to try to do that. It's going to be close. Anti-tank gun on that half-track picking up this motorcycle. Almost got him, not quite. Barely going to get away with the heavy machine gun. Well played by our US player. That could have gone a lot worse for him. So getting out with all his units there was pretty good. Now, let's take a quick look at our US player. He's gone for heavy weapons. So I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, yes, this tree has access to the Pershing tank. So I really like this tree. It's popular. It seems really popular right now. I think that's partly because it's one of the newer battle groups, but also just a fun tree to play, right? Fun battle group to play. Love this motorcycle capturing away territory rapidly on this right side. That's really nice. Anyway, battle group gives you access to the, basically gives you upgraded half-tracks. A little bit of extra health goes a long way. These things are sturdy. I mean, they can go up against Stugs, which, was surprising to me the first time I saw it. Also gets these exchangeable parts, which means they can switch upgrades. So you can switch from, if you're not doing great with this anti-tank variant, you can switch to the AA variant, which is exactly what he just did to deal with this infantry. So that's really cool to see that. Making great use of his tree. And of course, you also get upgraded heavy machine guns. So you have to convert your heavy machine guns into this upgraded variant, which is more effective against light armor. And I think it does more damage to infantry in general. Quickly reading there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely know it's better against light vehicles. I'm not sure how much better it is against infantry. I haven't noticed a difference. Our German players added on the Panzer III medium tank, which is here hanging out in the middle. This is a really strong unit, highly mobile, great against infantry and light armor. It starts to struggle against some of the medium armor, like a Sherman tank would give this guy a run for his money. But I don't think I think our US player's probably going to be saving up for the Pershing. He's quite a ways away from that, but I suspect that's what he's going for. Now, our Warmachek player, despite, in my opinion, it feels like he's a little bit behind, and maybe I'm mistaken about that. And what I mean by that when I say he's behind is he has fewer squads. So it feels like that should translate to less territory control. But he's done a great job with the units that he has in the right areas at the right time. In particular, this motorcycle has been so annoying. Looks like the half-track switched its conversion back to the anti-tank variant. Making a big push on this top side. So, what's interesting about this map, you know, I typically advise players to attack where their opponent's weak. You know, if you know your opponent's controlling the south side and you don't feel like you can beat them in a flat-out battle, hit where they're weak, right? That's kind of what our U.S. player's doing. There weren't a whole lot of forces up here when he made the decision to attack here, and he's made decent gains into this territory. What's strange, though, is on this map in particular, you are choosing which resource you want to get, right? If he attacks the bottom side, he's going to come out ahead on fuel and victory points. If he attacks the top side, he's going to come out on ammunition, right? There's more ammunition to go around up there. So, interesting, you know, decision-making required on this map. It reminds me of a map, I call it Farmville, which is not right. It's like Amityville Farm or something like that. It's one of the classic Company of Heroes 1 maps. And that map didn't have a resource decision. It had a VP. There were 2 victory points on one side. And they're trying to pick up that Panzer III. This is what I was talking about with these half-tracks, by the way. I mean, this thing is going up against a tank right now. I mean, I know it just went down, but the fact that it stood its ground against a tank is truly impressive to me. Now, looks like the German player's barely going to get out over there with those tanks. Don't think our U.S. player can chase. He's instantly adding on another half-track. I think that's a great decision. You know, I think when you start getting behind on... I have watched people win by spamming these out, right? They can spam 1, 2, or 3 of these out and just kind of... and go toe-to-toe with these tanks, and I think that's a good decision for him in this game. He needs the high mobility. He doesn't really want AT guns. He wants highly mobile half-tracks. Fans are pushing back in, getting supported by this motorcycle, which is somehow still alive. Second Panzer pushing in. I think that's going to force this half-track back. Losing the heavy machine gun isn't super great. Losing that second half-track isn't super great either. But let's see if he can get out of there with the heavy machine gun. It's going to be close. I think he's done for, right? Nope. He is going to make it. Wow. Okay. Second, or third, I should say, half-track coming in, dealing with this tank. I suspect he's going to pick him up here. Looks like the German player has resigned to his fate. Good hit. Back up. Can he back up? It's going to be close. You can get a sticky grenade on this guy. Oh, nice. Good hit. Wow. I mean, look at how effective those half-tracks are against those Panzer IIIs. That's crazy. German player adding on his third Panzer III after losing that first one. German controls a huge percentage of the map. The U.S. player's been laser focused, it feels like, on dealing with these tanks, so German definitely coming out ahead. Currently has a small lead on fuel. Looks like it's going to get worse, though. Yeah, because he just went down. U.S. player just went down to 13. That motorcycle is tier 3. That's simply incredible. Big push of riflemen here. Looks like he's going to push back this German here. I like the fact that he didn't retreat that scout squad, rather. He's going to use it to capture. It's okay if he loses a model or two. Big push coming in. I suspect we're going to see the Panzer III come up here to meet him. Half-track ought to roll up behind these units to support. And yeah, I mean, the German's doing a great job of, you know, as he's losing territory on one side to big pushes from the U.S. player, he's making sure to capture it back on the other side. Half-track pushing up, dealing some damage. Looks like our US player's adding on another half-track. I think that's a great decision. I mean, he's kind of committed to that strategy at this point. He is getting very close to being able to afford the Pershing in terms of command points, and actually I think that's going to work out nicely with his fuel income. In fact, he doesn't really need to worry about his fuel income right now, because he'll have enough when he picks up the Pershing call-in. Now, of course, he only has 150 manpower here, so he's going to have to save up for, what, 3 full minutes, pretty much, in order to be able to afford the Pershing, but he's got plenty of time, plenty of victory points, so he can definitely wait for something like that. Can you get him? No. I was hoping that thing would shoot that motorcycle. It's crazy to me that motorcycle's still alive. Crazy to me. So I like this from our US player. I think ammunition is more important to him right now than fuel is. Now, of course, he's still ticking down on those victory points, but it's a slow burn, so he's got time. This player has gone up to he's added on his 4th total Panzer III for a total of 3 on the field right at this moment. And when you start having this many tanks, you can kind of spread them around. They don't all have to be together on one side of the map. Unlike this US player that needs to keep both of these half-tracks together. This barrage ability is extremely effective against infantry there, so German player's going to have to back up. Scout squad sneaking in, pick up that point. That is quite the force down here. That's going to be difficult for our US player to dislodge. I wouldn't mind seeing him go for a cutoff point, potentially, maybe with just a scout squad. Of course, he doesn't know that this is where the German is, but yeah. Our US players, clearly demonstrated he's willing to go for cutoff points, so he sniffs this out, he might have a chance here. Half-track's in good position to fight this tank coming in. Couple big hits, that tank's got to go. That rifleman squad's in danger. I think they're going to make it. I don't know about this move in from this Panzer III. Those half-tracks are scary business. Nicely done. This is a great push by our US player, catching the German kind of off-sided here. Half-track barely living. Getting hit by that Panzerfaust. Yeah, 3rd tank coming in to help out here. Our US player just unlocked Pershing tanks, and he's got about a minute to go before he can call in Pershing, but that's going to be happening real soon. The German player adding on a 4th Panzer III. Nice barrage coming in. That's going to dislodge that squad there. Going to have to stop barraging to shoot the tanks. Oh, and that's unfortunate turnaround from the half-track, but unfortunately for him, the Panzer III didn't follow up on it. Panzer III chasing down the infantry here. I don't know if I like this. Oh, that was really unlucky for the US player. Holy cow. Yes, this is pretty bad news for our US player. He's still 100 manpower off the Pershing, but looks like he's going to be able to save up for it. Half-track's kind of skirting on the side here. Should be able to shoo this away. Yeah, he's okay. Gonna be alright here. Alright, here comes the Pershing right now. Coming in. So this is going to be an interesting matchup here because I don't know that these Panzer IIIs have enough armor penetration to go through the Pershing. And in theory, this Pershing's just going to wipe the field here. Half-track going up to Veteran C3 and living. That's really important. Pershing pushing on this Panzer III. Wow, look how much damage that is. Nice hit from that. He's keeping this half-track in the fight is huge. Alright, picking up the 3rd one. He's got down to 2 Panzer IIIs. Pershing's backing up. Doesn't want to expose that rear armor. Half-track getting involved again. Infantry ought to come in and throw some grenades. And trying to get behind that Pershing for that rear armor. Looks like it's going to work. But there goes the 3rd Panzer III. Oh, and I think that's the death of that last Panzer III. Well played by our US player. That is a little bit glitchy, eh? What's going on there? That's funny. Wow. Wow. So that was pretty freaking devastating for our German player. Now, while all that was happening, our German player managed to secure control over pretty much the entire map, including all 3 victory points. So he is burning the U.S. player's victory points quickly. He's adding on, and I don't even know what this thing's called. I don't see it very often. Black 36 anti-tank gun. So this thing gets towed around and then put in place, and then it is absolutely devastating to vehicles of any kind. Looks like he's going to lock down this bottom side here. I wonder if he could put it up here. I think this would be, just kind of a out-of-the-way spot, far back from where the infantry are going to be able to get at it. He's going to put it here. Sorry, I'm just obsessed with where he's gonna put this emplacement here. That's got to be it. Come on, do it. Now he's thinking about it. We'll come back to that in just a second. Motorcycle still alive. Moving this Flak 36 away. Now, that's a little unfortunate that he just gave away the fact that he has a Flak 36. Not exactly his fault, but, it's nice to get a surprise attack on your opponent. Kind of hard with an emplacement like this, but unfortunate. So, I've been so obsessed with that Pershing for the last 10 minutes that I failed to realize that our German player's all the way done with his battle group as well. Getting that disruption operation. Looks like it debuffs enemy units. Yep. Anti-tank incendiary munitions, which looks like it burns tanks, so that's going to be really effective if you can get hits with this Flak 36. Operation Scorpion. Vehicles are camouflaged. That's cool. Very cool. Pershing. High veterancy from killing all those tanks. This thing gets really, really scary when it's high veterancy because it's already a highly mobile, high damage tank, and it just gets more mobile and more accurate, which is scary for your opponents. Look at that 76. Look how far that thing can shoot. Holy cow. If I'm able to see the range on that thing. Another Panzer III added on. To help him control the infantry he's dealing with. I think that's a fine add. He's going to have to keep this near the Flak 36, but it feels like the right choice in this position. That was a nice little mine planted by our German player. Getting some damage on that half-track. Now that is not a fight that Panzer III wants. U.S. player pushing his advantage big time, capturing the whole top side. I mean, he had basically the whole map there for a second. This is impressive to me. Our German player is microing his Flak 36, which is a tall order, right? The whole towing mechanic, it's not like it's overly cumbersome, but for someone like me, that type of micro is tough. And so it's pretty cool to see him doing this, moving this thing around constantly, keeping the truck with it. It's really cool. U.S. player once again going for this cutoff. I think that's a good idea. Continue to, our German player has a significant mobility disadvantage here, right? Because the U.S. player has more units and He doesn't have this cumbersome Flak 36 to tow around. He's got a Pershing, so going for this cutoff is really smart. Make his opponent come to him. Now, if I were the German player here, I might consider just ignoring this cutoff for a short while and focus on controlling the victory points. That said, I mean, he has the victory points, so defending this place is okay. That's an unfortunate loss of a high veterancy Panzer Grenadier unit there. Germans pushing on the right side, and that's what I was afraid of for our German player. He kind of took the bait, right? This US player got in behind him, took away his cutoff, caused him to reposition, and now he's losing control of that victory point. So nice setup, baiting that Pershing in with his Panzer III. Big fight here in the middle. Riflemen gonna retreat. Panzer Grenadiers. Looks like they're gonna win this fight. Oh, that's not a place this bike wants to be. Is this the death of the bike? Is it finally happening? Bad day. Bad day. Oh no, our German player just lost his Panzer III. That's pretty devastating. I know it's his 18th Panzer III, and he's probably used to it by now, but it's getting to the stage of the game where every loss, every life is precious because you don't have time to rebuild them. Looks like our Flak 36 is taking out this emplacement. Panzer III moving up. Gonna push this captain away, probably. So yeah, I mean, I think that was a really nice push, distraction tactic by our US player. What I really liked about it is he had a rifleman squad ready to move in the instant his opponent moved off the point. So, it looked like a clear strategy to me, clear choice, and the British and the Warmachek player fell for it. So, I'm ragging on... Feels like I'm ragging on this Warmachek player. I'm not. I think he's playing really well. And, he's... I think his decision-making overall this game has been really, really good. Was that a dead half-track? Just barely got out of there. Nice setup on this heavy machine gun. Gonna push those riflemen away. So this is looking good for our British player down... excuse me, our... keep calling him British. Our German player down here. And now he just needs a squad to roll up and take this point. Of course, he doesn't know what's in the fog of war there. Barrage coming in. This squad's going to probably move. I don't think you should send him home. Yes, good. The reason I say that is, he needs to capture this point right now, and he needs every squad he can get, and that barrage ability is on a cooldown now, so he can more effectively use it. Moving up the Flak 36. It's not going to pick up that half-track just yet. Pershing just on the edge here. I'd love to see that Flak 36 move up just a little bit, but it looks like the time for that is over. Oh no, he's doing it. Good. I think that's a good choice. Heavy machine gun putting in work here. Panzer III moving up to protect the gun. Yes, I think it should tank here. Nice, good hit. Oh, good hit on the Panzer 36. Going to take out the half track here. Oh, miss. That's a really unfortunate miss. And I think this is a dead 36. There's infantry here. Oh no. Can he capture the point? Oh, what a massive flank by these riflemen. Oh, wow. He's going to get on the gun and then instantly lose the squad. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. What a great game. What a great little game that was. Really fun to see. I know that's actually not unusual from a unit composition perspective. I see a lot of teams go for a lot of medium and light vehicles because they're so cheap to spam out. And our US player weathered that storm, got a heavy tank, and then just went on a rampage with it. And then after all that, our German player held on and used that Flak 36 to excellent effect to lock down those 2 units. And right at the end, he was thinking to himself that he needed to make that push. And I even said that he needed to move that Flak 36 up to help him with those vehicles. But of course, he ran the risk of a big flank like that, and of course, just getting rushed by those vehicles. And that's exactly what happened. So really well played by both players. I thought there was some really cool decision making on display there. And I just want to take a quick look at this graph one more time. Yeah, this is what it felt like to me the whole game. I know that our German player was spamming out units, but it just felt like he was behind in army the whole time, and this graph pretty clearly shows that. But yeah, and you know what? I think this spike right here is where the Pershing came out, because there's a corresponding dip. So sorry to talk your ear off here at the end. I just thought that was a really interesting game, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. See you in the next one.